Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me asking booktubers to choose what I read. I got to reach out to some booktubers I've been following for quite some time now and I love their content, so I'm excited to read the books that they really love as well. For the first book, I messaged Katie Whittruck. I have been watching Katie's channel for a very long time now and I love her content. I just messaged her saying, "Hi Katie, I love your book content. Your videos are always so comforting. I'm starting a booktube channel and I would love it if you could choose a book for me for a video I'm filming." She messaged back and said, "Hi Ray, thank you so much. I highly recommend The Heartless Hunter. Good luck on your booktube journey." So it was very sweet. First book I'm going to be reading for this video is Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli, which I'm so excited for. Fantasy romance is my favorite genre, so I'm excited to dive back into that because I've been reading mostly romance. Let's get into it. Intrigued to kind of find out what happens next. Okay, so I just finished Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. If you don't know, Heartless Hunter is a romantic fantasy novel about a witch and a witch hunter. Witches had all the power, and after a revolution happened, the power switched and now witches are being hunted. We follow Rune, who is the granddaughter of a witch, and Rune is also a witch and she's trying to hide her identity from people. So Rune is the witch and Gideon is a witch hunter. They strike up a courtship because they both want to get insight into what's going on. Rune is trying to help save the witches and Gideon is the one capturing the witches, and so she's trying to get insight on where the witches are, where they're taking them. Rune is part of a cause to help save witches and Gideon is trying to find witches and capture them. So there are themes of forbidden love and battle between good and evil in this book, and it's the first book in the Crimson Moth duology. The next one comes out in 2025, which I am so excited for. I really wish I could read it right now. I wish that I picked this book up when the second one's already out because I can't wait to just find out what happens next. I really do love these characters. So this book had everything that I wanted in a good fantasy romance. It had all the elements. It was fast paced and the writing and the storyline was really easy to follow. But yeah, I grew really attached to the characters. When I was done reading the book, I sat there and I cried for 5 minutes. I love the characters and I'm really sad the series is a 2-book series because I think I could read an 8-book series just about these characters because that's how much I love them. I ended up giving the book 5 stars. I haven't had a 5-star read since the beginning of September, so it was so nice to be able to read a book that gave me that 5-star feeling. It just had everything that I wanted in a fantasy romance. I love that book. I love it so much. Like I'm a fan. The next booktube creator that I reached out to was Hallie Jones. I love Hallie's content. I sent her a message and I said, "I'm filming a video asking book creators to choose my next read and I would love it if you chose a book for me. Do you have a current favorite book you could recommend?" She said, "Oh my gosh, I would love to. I would feel honored. My top 2 favorite books are A Court of Mist and Fury, the second book in the Actar series." She said her other favorite book at the moment is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I had read both of these books already and really loved. I love ACOTAR. I mentioned that I've read them and she said, "Okay, so another book that I ended up really loving and surprised me so much is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston." I hadn't read this yet. It's been sitting on my shelf for quite some time, so I'm really excited to read it. I've heard such good things about it. I feel like it's a book that's going to surprise me. I know that it's a contemporary romance. There's a reason why so many people love it. I'm eager to kind of jump into that next, and so that's the next book we're going to be reading, so let's get into it. just finished The 7-Year Slip. Themes explored in this book are love, friendships, personal growth, and being able to embrace the moment while you're in it, as well as grief and the process of healing from dealing with grief. In The 7-Year Slip, we follow Clementine, who's a book publicist. She's dealing with the loss of someone very close to her, so she's going through this journey of grief. This person told Clementine about her magical apartment that somehow transports people 7 years in the past, and at the time Clementine didn't really believe that, but once she moves into said apartment, she meets someone and realizes that she's now 7 years in the past, and the person she meets is living 7 years in the past. This book definitely made me cry. The things that Clementine was going through, I felt those things when I was going through my own journey of grief and healing. A lot of it was very personal for me, was very relatable. It just felt so real. It felt like these people were real people somewhere in the world. I absolutely love this book. I gave it 5 stars. I also love the storyline. I thought it was a really unique storyline. The next creator that I reached out to was Madison Kate. I love her content. It's so aesthetically pleasing to watch. She is a Canadian book content creator. She's definitely one of my comfort booktubers. I reached out to her and I said, filming a video asking booktubers to pick my next read. Some books that I have on my radar are Flawless, Caraval, The Serpent and Wings of the Night, One for My Enemy, Beach Read, or Happy Place. I would love for you to choose my next read. It can even be something that's not on that list. And she replied back saying, "Hi Angel, I'm so happy you've started your book creator journey. You're gonna kill it. I would love to pick a book for you. That is truly such an amazing list, but I think Beach Read or Flawless, probably Beach Read. Let me know how you like it if you end up picking it." The next book that I'm going to be reading is Beach Read by Emily Henry, which I'm really excited about. I've never read an Emily Henry book before, so this will be my first. I'm going into it expecting it to be kind of a fluffy romance, but I know there's going to be more to it. I mean, there's a reason why her books are some of the most hyped romance books. We're going to go and read Beach Read, so let's go. Okay, so I finished Beach Read, and Beach Read is a contemporary romance novel about 2 writers who challenge each other to write in each other's genres. We have January, who's a successful romance novelist who's really struggling after the passing of her father. And then on the other hand, we have Augustus, who's an acclaimed literary fiction author. They're former college rivals who reconnect while living in neighboring beach homes. They then make a deal to write a novel in each other's genres over the course of the summer. So the themes kind of explored are relationships, grief, healing, personal growth, and how love can be found in unexpected places. So I was kind of right in my thought process going into the book. Initially, I thought it was going to be a fluffy romance, but I knew there was going to be more depth to it, and that's exactly what Emily Henry gave me. It wasn't just a fluffy, straightforward romance. There was a lot of depth to these characters. The themes of grief and healing were very evident throughout the book, and there was definitely a romance plot. I'm not saying that there wasn't that big of a romance plot. It's definitely a romance book, but there were other things that moved the story forward other than just the romance. And it was just, yeah, it was just so much more than some sort of fluffy little romance book. And I completely understand the Emily Henry hype now. I understand why her books are so loved. throughout the romance community. A lot of these books that I read, I feel like are all dealing with grief and healing. I ended up giving it a 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it, but it didn't give me that 5-star feeling that I got with the previous 2 books. The last book that I'm going to be reading in this video, I reached out to none other than Sarah Crowley. I love her content. I have been following her for a very long time. Her videos are very comforting for me. I love watching them. Okay, so I reached out to her and said, I'm starting a booktube account and I was wondering if you would like to pick a book for me to read for a video I'm going to start filming soon. I have so many popular booktube books I haven't read yet. She said, stop, so fun, I would love to, so many good options, let me think. I need to go with Emily Henry. I want to say Happy Place. I went from reading no Emily Henry books prior to this video to reading 2 of her most popular books. I enjoyed Beach Read a lot, and so I'm excited to read Happy Place. I actually picked up Happy Place I think over a year ago, and I got about 40 pages in and I just was more in a fantasy mood, so I put it down for a bit. I'm definitely gonna have to restart it. I don't remember what happened in those 40 pages. I'm gonna jump into that right now. Yeah, thank you Sarah for picking that book for me. I'm excited. I just finished Happy Place by Emily Henry. Happy Place is a contemporary romance novel about a couple who pretends to be together for a week to avoid conflict with their friends while on vacation. The story takes place in the fictional town of Knott's Harbor in Maine, at a cottage that's been a getaway for a group of friends for over a decade. We follow Harriet, who is a surgical resident, and she's someone who doesn't like conflict. She tries to avoid it at all costs, and her ex-fiance Win. Initially they were engaged, but they broke things off 5 months prior to this cottage trip happening, and they haven't told their friends yet. While they're at the cottage, they don't want to spoil the week for their friends. There's some big news that comes up about the cottage. They're trying to just make everything as memorable and enjoyable as possible, so they pretend to be together. The book explores themes of personal growth, finding happiness, and the importance of relationships. It also shows you how both sadness and happiness can coexist in a relationship. I really enjoyed this book. There were times where I wasn't sure what I was going to rate it, but over the course of reading it, it just became a comfort read for me. There's a relatability factor to the story. The story also really shows the importance of communication in a relationship. I loved the found family aspect of the book. So really overall it was the relatability and comfort this book brought me that ultimately led me to give it a 5-star. So again, thank you so much Sarah for picking this for me. We're just going to do a bit of a recap of all the books that I read for this video. Overall, I'm really happy with all the books I got to read for this video. I wanted to thank all the booktubers who were kind enough to be part of this video with me. I'm still pretty shocked that I had so many 5 stars in one video. I think before this video, my last 5-star read was back in September when I read Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan, which is actually sitting just up on my shelf over here. I loved that book, and it was hard for me to find something that was giving me a 5-star feeling since then. I don't think I've ever had so many 5-star books back to back. I read Heartless Hunter first, which was recommended to me by Katie Whitruck. I ended up giving this one 5 stars. Then I read The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, and this was recommended to me by Hallie Jones, and I also gave it 5 stars. Next, I read Beach Read, which was recommended to me by Madison Kate, and initially I had given this 4.5 stars. After kind of thinking about it a little bit more, I ended up leaning towards 4.75. I couldn't stop thinking about the book and the depth that it had to it. The last book that I read was Happy Place, which was recommended to me by Sarah Crowley, and I ended up giving this one a 5 star. So once again, just thank you to all the booktubers who participated in this video with me. Comment down below on your most recent 5-star read. I would love to find a few more to add to my collection. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.